हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू पाक-तुर्क ब्लॉगर चैनल। सो दोस्तों, आज आई एम स्पीकिंग उर्दू मैन।
I was wondering why you speak Urdu. You should speak English.
हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू पाक-तुर्क ब्लॉगर चैनल। सो फ्रेंड्स, my name is Ghosh, as you all know me from Pak-Turk blogger channel. Today in this video we will discuss about the students life in Luxembourg, and we invite one of our friend who's currently enrolled at the University of Luxembourg, and he is doing his master degree here. So let's invite him. So
Yeah.
Mohammad, welcome to
So,
Pak-Turk blogger channel. So please tell us about yourself a little bit, then we will continue our show.
well, first of all, thank you for inviting me for this interview, and I'm really excited that today I'm talking with you both. And well, I think it's really interesting topic nowadays because I know many students they like to know more about the student life in Luxembourg, the University of Luxembourg, and I think it's quite interesting. Well, my name is Mohammad and I'm here since 2020, and I'm studying in the University of Luxembourg. And my area of research is in the area of robotics and artificial intelligence.
So Mohammed, tell us about student life in Luxembourg, how you are feeling about it, as you are living here since 2020. So what's your experience?
Well, I think if I want to start to talk about the student life in Luxembourg, we should mention everywhere there are some advantages and disadvantages in the student life in Luxembourg.
First, tell us about the advantages,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
we don't want to
Yes, I think
discourage new students.
I think it's a good idea that always start with the good news.
Good news.
So, if I want to talk about the advantages, one of the biggest advantages I think for students in University of Luxembourg is that they don't have to almost pay for the registration fee. And I think it has one of the lowest registration fee in European countries. It's a big advantage and a big plus for students.
And most of people, they don't know about Luxembourg, and they don't know about the student education here in Luxembourg is free. They are thinking only the Germany is offering free education system, but Luxembourg is also offering free education system as well as free transportation. It's a really good thing.
Yes, and yes, exactly true. Because my experience that I had in other European countries, well, students to have paid lots of money for transportation costs, for registration fees. That it's really difficult to manage this money even with the student jobs, and it's really difficult. And another important thing that I want to say in about Luxembourg, but I think it's also same in other countries, that you can have the work permit of 15 hours per week. So I think this one is also can be an interesting thing that students with their studies they can apply for a job, a student job.
What are the chances to get a scholarship? Like if someone come from Asia to Europe, and how they can avail this opportunity?
Sure. Well, actually, scholarship. The university actually they consider a scholarship for students. There are different kinds of scholarship. Actually, since the start of the pandemic, university consider one kind of scholarship, which is called hardship fund for students who are suffering from pandemic and the waves. I mean, after the pandemic, that for example, some students I know many of them that they lost their family actually they lost their job, and they are in the difficult economical situation, and university provide this scholarship to students, and they can easily manage to pay their rents, and also for other living costs like food. So it's really manageable actually with the scholarship. For example, for this scholarship hardship found, there is not required too much, I mean, a complicated process. Actually, they just ask some identity cards and passport documents and one motivation letter and just print off your bank account. And then you have to do one interview and you can be eligible to take this scholarship. And there are also other kind of scholarships that, for example, if you have a good score, I mean, in your course, I mean, during your bachelor, or you have a good marks and you actually have a good background, you can also apply for, with the same documents, you can apply for
Okay.
study
So,
scholarships.
Mohammed, can you tell us, like, if someone is coming from Asia, and what is the language barrier? Like, how he or she will handle it?
Well, I think it's a really good question, because normally students, they have they come just, most of them, they come with just with the knowledge of English, and since Luxembourg, they have like four languages. So I think for actually for studying in the university, they have no problems, because all the master courses, or most of them, they teach in English. So for this one, they have no problem. But outside of university, for example, I mean, to live with people, hopefully people here, they mostly they speak English, but
Mostly,
I think there are some serious barriers. Yeah, I think for finding the job, for finding internship or
yeah.
student job, they will have easier job if they know French, or
So, Mohammed, tell us, like, Luxembourg, is it a foreigner-friendly country? Is there any racism or something like that?
well, I think for this question, it's not like something that you can say yes or no. Sometimes you see some behaviors, maybe you can call it as racism. But I think in general, Luxembourg is an international country, sorry, with many international companies. And I think people can easily adapt themselves with the people.
So, Mohammed, tell us that finding accommodation here in Luxembourg, is it easy to find, and how much it will cost?
Well, actually, about the accommodation, unfortunately, I have to say that finding the room here is a bit difficult, because, well, university provide accommodation for students, but not too much. And I saw many of my friends that they have problems to find a room, since university didn't have enough rooms to give them. And I think I think finding room is a bit challenging in Luxembourg.
So, for
And
Germany, we know that you have to deposit 12,000 euro or 14,000 euro in your block account. So, for Luxembourg, tell us, is there any compulsory thing like something to open a bank block account here or something like that?
Well, actually, it's not like this in Luxembourg. In Luxembourg, there is another. I mean, the work is different. Actually, students have to renew their student visa per year, and each year they have to renew, and they need to show. I think this year, for each month, they need to provide like 1,000, between 1,200 to 1,400. That per year they have to prove, they have to show that around 12,000 euro they need to show in their bank account. That because since they should renew each year, so I think this one can also be a challenge for students, because
Yeah.
actually there is an option, there is a good option that students can show the bank account of their home country. That sometimes foreign ministry, they also accept this option, that it can make life a little bit easier for students.
Okay. So, Mohammed, tell us, what are the factors should student consider when they are coming to Luxembourg?
I think the important factors that I think students should consider, well, first of all, I think is that the language, that
Okay.
in the long time, if they want to stay in the country, they should know that which languages they need to speak. And second one, I think, what are the future and job opportunities there? Because for sure, there should be a future for students. They need to find a job, and it's important that they know how is the market in that country. And
So, Mohammed, tell us, University of Luxembourg, is it a tough university?
well, I think the University of Luxembourg, I can say, unfortunately, it's difficult because the courses are quite tough, and yes, I think it's not easy to. But you have to. I mean, not easy. I don't want to say that it's impossible, but I think you need to study really good. and the professors actually, the level of expectation from professors are quite high actually. So
So, Mohammed, tell us now about the disadvantages. Let's go to disadvantages now. Like, what are the challenges
uh,
a student can face, or after graduation, what they can face here in Luxembourg?
I think the biggest challenge for students after finishing the studies in Luxembourg, I think finding job is a really big challenge, since there is a really, and I think you agree with me that there is a high competition now in
Yeah.
Luxembourg for finding a job, and it's quite tough because
And you know, Mohammed, there is one thing I feel that in Luxembourg, like the locals are doing students' job. The local people who are coming from Germany, France, Belgium, from borders, they come to Luxembourg, do the jobs, and they go back in the evening. So, in that case, people who are living already here, because of the language barrier, they cannot get that job. But the other countries, neighbor countries, those people can find job easily because they know languages.
easily.
So it's a big advantage for them. But being in Luxembourg as a resident, then I can say you have disadvantage because you don't know the language, and your job that the people take it away.
Yeah, exactly. That's true, because actually, as you said, when actually, because people, the neighbors of Luxembourg, Germany, French, and Belgium, they all come here to work. So it's a big challenge for students, because okay, there is a big competition, and all the people wants to come here, and I think it's a bit challenging here, and the
Yeah.
companies are limited since it's a small company, and you have to try a lot, you have to apply many times. So to be successful in this high competition in the Luxembourg market.
So, Mohammed, can you tell us that if a student come here in Luxembourg, what is the minimum amount of money he should consider before coming here? Like how much he will spend for grocery, for rent?
Well, I think because the groceries and I mean the supermarket stuffs, it's a bit expensive here, and in with also the rent, it's also expensive. And I think in average, maybe students have to consider something between 800 to 1,200 per month minimum for the living costs in Luxembourg. And I think it's really important that the students try to find one student job, because otherwise I think it's difficult to survive here, and having a
And you
student
know,
job is really helpful.
in my opinion, poor students should not come to Luxembourg because it's not for them. Honestly, like
Yeah, yeah,
if
yeah,
someone don't have money, so it's a big problem. Like how they will survive in
yeah, it's
this
a big problem.
expensive country.
Yes, I'm completely agree with you.
So, Mohammed, can you tell us that the Luxembourg, is it a safe country to live if someone wants to live with their families? Or so, what's your opinion on it?
Yes, I think in general, yes, Luxembourg is a safe country. Somehow, maybe they don't have that much army and policemen and police officers in the street, but I think yes, it's safe. I want to say, if I want to make a comparison with French or Belgium and Germany, yes, for
Mhm.
sure, is much safer compared to these countries. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mohammed, tell us that Luxembourg is a boring country or not? Because for me, it's super boring. It's a
Yes,
small
yes, actually,
country. You
you're
don't
right.
have much activities. You can finish whole Luxembourg in one day.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think as I already said, the best thing that you can do here is hiking. You can do
Yeah.
hiking as much, yes, until you get tired. But
Because
because
last time in Ash side, I went for a hiking, and man, it was really tough. Like once you go up, the climbing on the mountain is really a tough job. I don't know how people can
yeah,
do the mountain hike.
yeah, but I think end of the day you will become a good athlete, maybe.
Yeah.
Quite.
So, Mohammed, can you tell us that as you got the student visa here in Luxembourg, so is it easy to get it from the embassy? What's your experience?
Well, actually, I think the foreign ministry of Luxembourg, actually they are really, we can say, tough, and there are also many cases of students that they have the admission in hand, but they also reject it because for the student visa, and I mean everything should be very clear about the bank statements and also other documents. So I think we can say yes, it's a bit difficult. I think the visa process in Luxembourg is a bit
And you
difficult.
know,
Yes.
one thing I didn't like it here, like for every year you have to show your bank statement. Like for example, you came here as a student and you have master degree for 2 years, and in every year you have to show your bank statement in your account.
Yeah.
If you are came here for study, you should they should give you visa for 2 years, and then after the for job seeker visa they should give you for 1 year. But
Yes, exactly. Because I saw many times that students really getting worried when it's about to expire of the student visa. They really get worried since they need to, again, they need to put the limit. I mean, they should fulfill this either 12,000, 13,000 euro
yeah,
in their bank account. So, and I think 12,000, 13,000 euro, it's not small money for one student. Maybe, yeah, maybe
yeah,
for one businessman, yes, it's not a big challenge, but for one student, I think it's
for student
sometimes it's
is
a
a
big problem.
bit difficult. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they should, the foreign ministry should actually make it, at least for students, they should make it a little bit easier that students can focus more on their studies and they have less pressure from these kind of
Yeah.
problems.
And one more thing about the hospitals and this insurance stuff, like when you get sick and you go to the hospital, and there you have to pay by your own, and then your bill, your receipt, you should send to the your health insurance. You will send it by post, and then they will return back to your money which you spend in your on your health situation. So this thing is also not good. Like if I have health insurance, then why should I pay some amount of money? Why should I pay? I bought the health insurance, then this doesn't make any sense. Like you should pay and get it back.
And maybe you're in the emergency case that you cannot pay the money at that time. So
Yeah,
if, and maybe you need the money because the process takes a time that they refund you back the money. So, and if as a student, when you need your money and maybe each euro makes actually, it's important for students. So I
yeah.
think this insurance process is, it's not so, it's not good actually. Yeah.
And also in Luxembourg, I see that they love sending post.
Yes. They like the older school way,
Oh,
and they still prefer to, even for one small thing, they prefer to send you the letter by
yeah,
post.
one
Yeah.
of the funniest thing is this. Like every day, I have something on in my mailbox. Like they keep sending me letters. Even from banks, I am receiving letters. And for where I'm going for shopping, they also keep sending me letters in my home address. I said, what the heck?
Yes. And yes, and most of the time, when you see the concept of the email, you see why they can easily send this by email or by message. They can easily send,
Yeah,
why
but they love to
they
send
waste.
post.
They like to follow the older school way, yes. And but you can see from this point of view that you're not alone. There are always some people thinking about you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. So, Mohammed, we would like to say thank you for your attendance as you came here and you gave us some time from your very busy schedule. So, it was a really useful information we get it from you. Interview was really helpful for newcomers, for new students who will come to Luxembourg.
So thank you for inviting me for this interview, and I hope that students find good information if they want, if they are looking to come to Luxembourg. And I, from here, I hope good luck for all students who wants to come to Luxembourg in the near future. From here, don't forget to like, subscribe the Park Tour Blogger channel.
Yes. So, friends, if you like our video, don't forget to like, share, and comment. So goodbye today and see you tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.